This video is designed to provide industry professionals information on the StoneShield cladding system installation. The StoneShield cladding system is designed as a totally integrated, multi-layered, non-load-bearing lightweight cladding system for facades. StoneShield delivers a weatherproof external building envelope that provides excellent thermal performance with continuous insulation to reduce thermal bridging and also offers noise reduction. The StoneShield cladding system has also been tested and passed for fire-rated levels and complies to all BAL levels. Dulux Aquatex, Rockwool and Fletcher Insulation have partnered to utilise their combined capabilities to develop the StoneShield cladding system. Before starting the job, builders and installers should consider the building design and job requirements against the StoneShield system specification and installation manual to ensure it is fit for purpose, and to take into account all the steps needed to achieve code mark compliance, including warranty requirements. The StoneShield cladding system is code mark certified. The Australian Building Code requires all building systems that are code mark certified to be installed strictly in accordance with Code Mark Certificate of Conformity and meet the building code requirements. Where the system has not been installed strictly in accordance with the Code Mark Certificate of Conformity and its specification and installation manual, the StoneShield system that has been installed will be deemed void and non-compliant. Dulux Aquatex promotes safe work practices. It is recommended that all contractors on site wear gloves, dust masks, long sleeves and eye protection. Safe work practices must be maintained at all times in accordance with state-based Work Health and Safety Authority regulations. The Rockwool facade DD panels have been classified by ICANS as non-dangerous goods. However, avoid direct skin contact as it may cause some itchiness. Check all studs and noggings with a straight edge 2 metre to 3 metre long for face accuracy to ensure the stud wall has a true and accurate outside face. Wall frames are defective if they deviate in horizontal or vertical by more than 4 mm in any 2 metre length wall. Timber framing must comply to AS 1684 National Timber Framing Code. Domestic metal framing must comply to AS 4600 Cold Form Steel Structures. If you are not satisfied with the frame standard or straightness, you should advise the site supervisor prior to commencement of installation of any issues that need rectification. Once the frame has been rectified, only then can installation commence. Confirm that the builder has installed the termite treatment and damp-proof course. It is the builder's responsibility to install both the termite treatment and the damp-proof course. Installation of the StoneShield system must not continue if damp-proof course is absent or not installed. Install Sisolation Vapor Wrap or alternative breathable wall wrap that complies to Australian standards with a staple gun to a properly prepared frame. The top half of the wall wrap must overlap the bottom half to allow cavity drainage. Tape overlap, joints and holes with manufacturer's wall wrap tape. Larger holes should be replaced by installing a new sheet of wall wrap. Weatherproof penetrations by applying bitumen window self-adhesive flashing tape. Heating the tape with a heat gun will help adhesion to the wall wrap. This tape must be applied around all openings such as window frames, sills, doors, openings, penetrations, intersections, connections, heads and jambs. Note that bitumen tape should not be applied when temperatures are below 5 degrees. Starter channels with weep holes are available in PVC or aluminium. Aluminium starter channels must be used for FRL and BAL requirements. The StoneShield system allows for either a 25mm or 35mm top hat to accommodate the total wall thickness of the frame and for wind loading requirements. 25mm top hats must be paired with 100mm starter channels. 35mm top hats must be paired with 110mm starter channels. Plan your control joint layouts. The starter channel must be cut in line with all control joints to allow for building movement. Good building practices provide for 10mm control joints, which are required at all building weak points or where potential cracking may occur. For example, in line with openings, windows or doors, horizontally between floor levels, and at all interfaces of different building construction materials and/or as defined by a building or project engineer. Control joints are also required to be installed horizontally between floor levels and adjacent to other building substrate materials and/or as provided by the architect, engineer or builder. The placement and correct installation of control joints is the responsibility of the building engineer relative to the construction design. Prior to fixing the starter channel in place, fix the wall wrap to the base of the framing using bitumen flashing tape. Screw fix the starter channel to the bottom plate or frame of building framework and 10mm to 20mm above damp-proof course using packers for spacing. In BAL regions, install weepers at 1200mm spacing, then seal the gaps between the weepers with an Acrotex approved PU sealant to prevent ember entry. The starter channel is to also be applied to Z flashings to upper floors. If there is a control joint, the starter channel is to be cut and discontinued at the line of the control joint to accommodate building movement. The StoneShield system uses top hats which have a 50mm face, 19mm flange and either a 25 or 35mm top hat height. The appropriate top hat is based on wind loading requirements specific to each install as well as framing considerations. Top hats are to be fixed vertically with the 50mm face of the top hat being placed directly onto the stud frame. Flanges support the back of the facade rock DD panel. At all vertical control joints, position 2 top hats vertically on a double stud, with a gap to accommodate 10mm control joints, thereby allowing movement at building weak points. Horizontal control joints should be used where there is a change of cladding type or floor level. Metal top hats can be cut to size using an angle grinder while using appropriate PPE. Fix top hats to frame using type 17 35mm 12 gauge hex head screws. Back blocking should be installed for all external fixings such as downpipe brackets, light fittings and other building services to the appropriate locations. Planning the back blocking for these fixings is to be reviewed with the builder prior to commencing panel installation. Any load-bearing external fittings must be considered at design stage and structural provisions made before commencing the installation of the StoneShield system. From the starter channel, apply a 5mm bead of Sally's Liquid Nails Fast Grab to the centre of the starter channel base in a straight line. Do not fill weep holes. Do not zigzag. The panel is dual density with the front being firmer and the back being softer to accommodate building framework and minor misalignments. Working from the bottom up, position the first panel into the starter channel, keeping the embossed Rockwool logo facing outwards. The panel is fixed with a multi-fix screw installed through a fixing disc. Once screw and fixing disc is fixed into position, the protective cap is to be clipped in over the screw head. The StoneShield system features a 65mm fixing disc, a standard and an additional 140mm support washer for high wind loading requirements. Refer to StoneShield manual for fixing requirements. The StoneShield system allows for both timber and metal fixing screws based on framing type. Screws should have a minimum 25mm penetration into timber frame studs and a minimum of 3 full screw threads into metal frame stud. All screws and fixing discs should be positioned at 50mm in front of the edge of the panel. One full panel should have a minimum of 15 screws and fixing discs. Continue to install panels in a staggered horizontal brick pattern layout, working from the starter channel and going up. Panels can be cut to size using a serrated blade or Stanley knife as shown. A 5mm maximum gap is to be maintained at all panel intersections to allow expander foam to be installed at the end of panel installation. A 10mm gap is to be left in line with control joints. Screw fixing spacing can vary subject to wind pressures in accordance with Australian standards. Refer to StoneShield manual for more details. The minimal length or width that a panel can be installed is 150mm with 2 fixing points. Care should be taken not to overdrive the screws below the edge of the panel. Where this overdrive of the screw has occurred, this should be filled with expander foam prior to Dulux Acrotex render wall base coat being applied to avoid cold spotting occurring post-coating application. Two panels are not to be joined on one stud. Back blocking is required when butt joins of panels are off stud. For full panel back blocking, cut 3 lengths of top hat to size and install these 3 lengths horizontally by screw fixing with type 17 screws to vertical top hats. For smaller cut to size panels, set back blocking as per panel fixing requirements. Once panels are installed, expander foam is to be used to fill joins between all panel edges and make flush with the face of panel. Use fire-rated expander foam for all walls with FRL requirements. Allow to dry and cut off any excess. Around windows, doors and openings, allow a 5mm gap between panel edge and frame to allow caulking with a paintable polyurethane sealant to be installed post-texture application. Window sills must have a 15-degree fall to allow for moisture and water runoff away from frame. Pre-cut these panels prior to installation to allow this fall to occur. "10mm control joints are required to allow for a 12.5mm minimum backing rod to be inserted into the joint as per detailed drawings. Control joints must be installed at all locations as per approved and stamped construction drawings and/or at building weak points in line with openings to windows and doors where movement can occur that can cause potential cracking. Install a 12.5mm backing rod to a depth of 20mm in vertical and horizontal control joints, followed by a paintable polyurethane sealant. Refer to StoneShield manual for FRL and BAL specifications. Internal corners require either a vertical control joint to allow for movement or install an additional layer of reinforcing mesh to internal corners. Finish StoneShield by installing external corner angles at any edges that require reinforcing, such as control joints, ledges and external angles or edges. Once all panels are installed, control joints are finished with backing rods and external angles are in place, you are ready for the application of the Dulux Acrotex coating system.